Okay, every YouTube creator knows this feeling. It's that pit in your stomach. You've spent days, maybe weeks on a new video, you finally hit publish, and for the first few hours it's great. The views are climbing. And then, nothing. It just stops. So what on earth happened? And more importantly, is there a way to bring that video back from the dead? Let's dive in.
Seriously, why does this happen? It's one of the most frustrating things on the platform. You check your analytics, you see that awesome initial spike, your click-through rate is looking good, and you think, yes, this is the one. But then you check back later, and the graph has completely flatlined. It's like your video just fell off a cliff. If you've been there, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
And this right here is what that pattern looks like on a graph. You see that beautiful curve going up, driven by a strong click-through rate at the start? But then, bam, a sudden steep drop, and the views just stall out completely. It happens to literally everyone, and your first instinct is always to blame yourself, right? You start thinking, what did I do wrong? But what if it's not you?
So before you go and change your thumbnail for the 10th time or rewrite your title again, let's just pause and consider something else. The source material we're looking at today brings up a really good point. Sometimes the problem isn't your video at all. It's everything else happening in the world.
Let me break this down. First, you might be competing with a huge global event, like the World Cup or the Olympics, something that just sucks all the attention out of the room. Second, think about your audience. Are they all studying for exams? Is it a major holiday weekend where everyone's away from their computer? They might just be busy. And third, well, there's the YouTube algorithm itself, which is constantly getting updated, often around the middle of the month, which can mess with view patterns. The big takeaway here is that sometimes it's just really bad timing. And that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? If your video stalls out because of things you can't control, are you just stuck? Do you have to just accept it and move on to the next one? Or is there a way to give that video a little nudge, a little push to get the algorithm to notice it again? Well, it turns out there's a pretty clever strategy for exactly that.
And that strategy is called the high-traffic title trick. Don't worry, it's simpler than it sounds. It's a really powerful little technique designed to send a super clear signal back to the YouTube algorithm that basically says, hey, over here, this video is still super relevant, you should probably give it another look.
And the process itself could not be easier. Okay, first, you take the title of your own video that's stalled out, just copy it. Then, search for that exact title in the YouTube app. You're trying to find the current king of that topic. You know, the video that has the most views. When you find it, copy that video's title. And here's the key part. You then paste that popular title into the very first line of your video's description, then just hit save. It takes what, 30 seconds? But it's what this change does behind the scenes that matters.
Now this is where it gets really interesting, because this isn't just some random trick. There's a real logic to it that's all about piggybacking on another video's success to give your own a boost. You're basically creating a connection in the algorithm's mind.
See, when you put that popular title right at the top of your description, you're creating a powerful little data link. You're basically whispering to the algorithm, psst, you see that video over there that everyone's watching and loving right now? Yeah, mine's about the exact same thing. It's like you're borrowing a little bit of its relevance.
Think about it like this. Before you do this, your video is just kind of floating out there on its own, in isolation. But after you make this tiny change, the algorithm suddenly sees a clear line connecting your video to a proven winner. It connects the dots and realizes that your content is the perfect next thing to watch for anyone who liked that other popular video.
And that connection is what gets you the result we're all after. Because the algorithm now sees your video as highly relevant, it becomes way more likely to pop your video into the up next sidebar or to serve it up as a suggested video after someone finishes watching that blockbuster. You are literally riding the coattails of its traffic.
So, does it really work? Well, the creator who shared this whole strategy tried it on one of his videos that was totally dead in the water. And the result? YouTube sent out an extra 38,200 impressions. That is a massive new wave of potential viewers for a video that was, for all intents and purposes, completely finished.
Okay, now hold on. Before you run off and start editing the descriptions of all your old videos, there's a really important catch. You have to remember that this is a booster, not a magic fix. It can't save a video that just isn't very good to begin with.
And the source material puts it perfectly. A trick doesn't fix a bad video or a poor thumbnail. That's really the bottom line here. If your content isn't great, or if your thumbnail is boring, no amount of clever description editing is going to make people click, and it definitely won't make them stick around and watch.
So, this trick works best when you've already got the fundamentals right. You need high-quality content that actually delivers on its promise. You need a thumbnail that pops and makes people want to click. And you need clean, focused SEO without a bunch of keyword stuffing. At the end of the day, this trick gives a good video a second chance. It can't perform CPR on a bad one.
Which brings us to a final thought, and it's an important one. Is this just a temporary hack, a loophole that YouTube might close tomorrow? Or is it a deeper lesson in being a smarter creator? It really makes you think about how we can all find clever ways to signal our video's relevance to the algorithm, to ride the waves of what's popular, instead of just throwing our content out there and hoping for the best. Definitely something to think about.